What's up guys, I'm making this very quick video to show you my own creation. It is a CSX Boxcar GEVO, the General Electric ES44AH from the Evolution series. This model was built after the 3000 series, so my running number for it's actually going to be a funny one. It's 3069. And the engine is going to be given How Tomorrow Moves logos as decals in the near future. The purpose of this build was in order to have engines that could run under the power function system. Even though right now it carries a 9-volt motor, it's going to be changed out around May 2014 when a sister twin locomotive gets built alongside this one for summer train shows like the Tampa train show in June. We're going to take a very quick look at some of the details of this engine. It's very packed with detail, and it's about 43 studs by 6 studs length to width, and it's about 2 plates shorter than the old version, which was built in 2010. We're going to start out for the details with the ditch lights, which are going to be operable once the power function system kicks in. Also note that as I navigate around the nose, you're going to see that the color is also changing. This is the first CSX engine in recorded history, as far as I know and as far as I'm concerned, that is built in Lego bricks using the new Flame Yellowish Orange color, which started in Belleville but started to take the Friends and Chima lines in the last couple years by storm. Now we are at the underside of the cab. Let me zoom out there. We got the cab roof. The window design is kind of inspired, rather, by Swoofty, who does a lot of locomotives, and he does a damn good job with them. These bottom are just miscellaneous builder's plates and grills. You're going to be seeing a couple of those like decals or patches on the other side of the engine as well. We're now moving towards the long hood of the engine, and the long hood is also where the power functions battery box will be stored. And I'll show you a picture at the end of the video of how that box is going to be placed in the engine. I believe these are intake vents, I'm not sure, and then that one was, like, I guess just modified, or rather repositioned to fit the engine. Like they say, DVDs are reformatted versions of movies so that they fit the screen, so it's like that, I guess. The handrails are an added detail. I started to add those back in the day. And then I believe this is another detail. It's a bit harder to do in Lego. We're now navigating through the long hood, this 8 stud section. I believe it's supposed to be 6 to 7 scale studs, but I made it 8 studs so that it could fit a power functions battery box, which is 8 by 4 by 4 length with height. We're now towards the back of the left side of the engine. We have the radiator fans up here using a slightly new design, incorporating pieces from the Merce train, those black cheese graters as I call them, on top. Whatever regular miscellany you could find up there, including the horn on the left hand side. Let me show that in the frame, which is, I guess, a replica of a 5-chime, or rather a 3-chime, I don't know. I mean, it's supposed to be a K5H double L, but whatever. And then the standard grills, which are a bit easier to do than the rest of the cab. This cab, I believe, the radiators, rather, what am I saying, may have some illegal building techniques, because I kind of stuck everything in. I believe what may have messed it up is these radiator fans right here, these grills. Because of the angle they're placed at, some of the bricks may not be snapping in very nicely, but so far it's doing well. The trucks are 4-axle, before I get to the other side, because the track radius with Lego trains, as it stands, is pretty tight. The Lego layouts that I run them in do not like 6-axle trucks, so I'm going to keep them 4-axle, and also for the uniformity of the new power functions motor, which is also favoring 4-axle trains. I would love to do 6-axle. This engine could be modified to 6-axle, but I just don't feel like I have the capacity to do it right now. We're going to take a look at the other side of the engine right now. So yes, we now have our K-train running long hood forward, and we're going to take a look at the rear of the engine from this angle here, which is very straightforward, but at least it fits in the engine. It's done right, it's done well. We have pretty much a duplicate of the radiator section on the back, except without the handbrake, which looks like a steering wheel. Fuel tank here has more details on this side. Here are the little tanks, those little pistons or cylinders. Over here it's just more the same, except this part is a bit difficult to do because what is between these grills right here, as you're going to see, is just plates. They're tiles arranged in such a fancy, very intricate way. Let me get this tripod right. So the center set of the grills, as I get into specifics here, that set is not physically attached to any part of the engine. It's basically stuck in like you're stacking floors on a modular building without any studs connecting. No studs are touching, it's just in there. And that's a very complicated design hurdle that took me about an hour. By the way, it took me about 12 hours to do this engine. So just getting that right just took forever. Anyway, we're going to finish off with the view of the cab from this side. That 1x1, or rather it's actually a L-corner brick, but for a structure. That 1x1 white area is supposed to be the builder's plate on the right hand side, and the tile is, I believe, one of those warning stickers. It's under that small little grill, and the real deal, it sticks out. So I want to include those details. So I'm not just doing a rainbow mock, I'm just really including details. Before I cut this video off, I'm going to be a little brief on the power functions functionality. I'm not going to remove anything since this engine is very delicate and parts could just slide off or crack off or blow off or whatever. I've had so many things happen when I tried to collapse parts of the engine. In fact, when I took the picture earlier, the entire radiator section just came off, so I'm not going to try that this time. The center long hood, as I said earlier, could be removed by lifting it up, revealing the battery box area on the bottom, which it goes all the way down to the fuel tank. That way it could be serviced as needed when the batteries die or when I want to turn off the engine. And of course, the battery box does not necessarily mean that the infrared is on it, so it's not going to be completely obscured. That 2x4 tile will be removed when the infrared receiver arrives, so there will be no minifig in the cab. There's going to be a receiver out there, and that receiver will get the signals to move or to stop. The headlights are going to be they're connected in a looping wire all the way through here and back to the infrared receiver, and then there's going to be another cable, I guess, jolting around loops, doing loops and stuff, and it's going to connect to the box here. And I do believe the motor is also going to connect to the receiver. It's going to go, this is basically the placeholder for the power functions motor. It comes the wire attached to it, so the wire is going to go through here, under the battery box, because there's really no space to cut it up and over. It'll go up around here, mix in with all the other wires, go under the receiver, and come back here. So there's also an LDD graphic on Flickr. There'll be a link from this video that will show you how the power functions schematics are going to work. Anyway, with all that said, I thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I apologize for the mess around. I'm really busy. I don't really have time to organize the space all too much, but I will do it for future videos. It'll be much neater and maybe I'll build a city around here soon. Feel free to subscribe for more LEGO Train Aviation content. I do have aviation and railroad videos coming right up, so don't worry about that if you're watching and you're more of a train or plane buff. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all soon. TE out.